Hey, good morning, everybody. It is Wednesday, February 28th, 2024, rounding out the last couple days here of February, going into contract rollover month very shortly here. Geez, it always seems like it just goes by so quick. So let's go ahead and take a look at what happened here yesterday. Not necessarily a great market. It was pretty low volume. You know, when I can fit the entire day, the entire 512 tick chart, and less than a screen, then I know the volume was pretty light yesterday. So let's take a look at what happened. Remember that we said if we could get down through the previous daily low, our first target is 66.5. And remember, I stress this nearly every day. If you're going for a target, you probably want to take profit a point, maybe even 2 points in front in case this very situation happens where we get this shy miss by literally 2 ticks there yesterday, and then we get the full rotation for the day. So got pretty good opportunity to get short down there. However, it was super choppy all morning from the open until probably 2 hours in. It was just, this is how the market looked. It wasn't going anywhere. We were coiling up in a pretty tight little range, right around the Hopel, right around the previous daily low. And then right out of the open, you did have a chance. If you noticed we were starting to break lower, you did have an opportunity to get short. You just had to be super aggressive. The play really was probably to try buying the previous daily low to see if we could get the rotation. And if you did that, you did have, a decent opportunity for just about a 10-point bounce. A couple times it went 5, 6, 7, 8 points, 9 points, or whatever. But then, as you can see, the bulls just didn't have enough strength to get through VWAP. I mean, this is kind of like another perennial thing that we talk about pretty often is the holds from VWAP. And when you just cannot get through it after so many tests, and then you kind of start to fail down through the lows of the morning, which ended up happening right here, start to get down through this 2-hour support zone, got to the lower low, breaking down, could not get through VWAP, then it might have made sense to go ahead and get short if you didn't already trying to get short off the first test, which again, you would have got stopped out, right? That's the nature of trading. Our setups don't work every time. Sometimes they won't work 2, 3 times in a row. So getting the crossover, the break lower, and then the first test of the 200 or VWAP didn't quite get anywhere. But then finally, as we continue to push to new lows by about 10:30 Central, 11:30 Eastern, that would have been the shot to go ahead and get short off the 200. Didn't break by more than about a point, maybe a point and a half there. And then you got the push down right to our target. Remember, if we can break the previous daily low, more than likely price is going to test into 66.5. Basically, that's what we got. And if you missed out on that 200, you did get this opportunity here. Once we broke down even more and got to new low lows for the day, you got that tag to the tick off the 200, and then you got basically a 10-point push down to 67. Probably want to take profit at 67.5, 68, so just under a 10-point push right to our expected support. And then from there, we got the biggest rotation of the day. What do you know? The low of the day was our roadmap level. The high of the day was 50% of the previous day. So technically, our other roadmap level up top, right? We couldn't get through 50% of the previous day here. Got a little shy peek through by a couple ticks there. And then going into last night, we started getting the retracement of this push. Now, on the whole way up, basically from midday till the close, you did get opportunities to get long. Notice, and this is kind of something we've talked about and I taught many times, the Hopel ends up becoming a very good rotational area in the chart. So if you notice all morning, this wasn't like anything perfect, right? We did go way through it, but couldn't get through Hopel all morning and the VWAP. And then once we broke out, got back through VWAP, you had a great opportunity here to go ahead and try and get long there, right? So once you notice, and let me go ahead and highlight this. Once you notice, the pullback and the test, and I thought it was wrong. I was like, why did it shift? You got to move it back here. So once it broke and got above there, and notice the FMA was also sitting there, you had 2-3 opportunities here with how much risk? A couple ticks of risk to buy the Hopal there and bring it right to our next target. If we could hold Hopal, what's the next roadmap level that we could target? 50% of the previous day, you would have nailed the high of the day. So still, despite it being a little tricky yesterday, everything basically played out how we talked about it. And then we said if bulls can get through 50% of the previous day, then we were expecting a retest of the high of the day before there. Just never happened. And then here we are coming into this morning, and the bears have regained strength again right around that 50% of the previous day at 92, which is now the high of yesterday basically. And bears have brought us back down to retest into yesterday's low. And what was yesterday's low? 2 ticks above our roadmap level, our target, right? So we're testing into it right now. Bulls are having trouble getting us back through VWAP once again. And just to kind of highlight some of the overnight, the notable rotations in the overnight here, we held the previous daily close. This is why, guys, and I say it nearly every day, our trades off our levels take on very limited risk. So yes, you might have to stomach a couple stop outs, maybe 4 or 5 stop outs, but they're so small that when you catch that rotation, you have the potential for a 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 100 point push from an area that we knew we had super limited risk on. So let's say you take 2 point risk on a trade, you have the opportunity for a potential 30, 40, 50 point move with the stuff that we have. So very limited risk last night to try the previous daily close. And from there, you would have captured this 20, 25 point push lower, right? Maybe more than that if I'm probably doing my math wrong here. So, pretty good stuff there. And then, as you can see right now, trouble around VWAP and 3 tests of it, again, with very limited break. I mean, this was, I guess, technically 2.25 points when it peaked up there. And then these were very limited. So good rotation so far. And that brings us here into our pre-market for this morning. So let's go ahead and go up to the higher time frames here and see what they have to say this morning. So